Hi everyone, Dorota International Nail Artist and Educator here, and today we are going to be playing with one stroke and a transfer foil. Have a preview of this beautiful design in here. Absolutely awesome, and I hope you really love this technique. Also, if you're new in here, hit the subscribe button as we've got over 1000 tutorials for you. And to the existing subscribers, guys, thank you so much for all your comments, likes and shares. So let's start. It's going to be a fun design, transfer foil gel, and you want to put it on your mixing palette just because we are going to grab a scoop of it with the ombre brush to get a really nice and delicate texture for this design. So you want to pick it up with the ombre brush, like the more messy it is, the actually better, and then just create like a couple of irregular lines. Cure it, and the curing time is 30 seconds. Again, and then same in here, so very quick, messy kind of look. And then cut some transfer foil in a pale gold. I really love this shade of the gold. It's just perfect. Okay, my first tip is ready. So I'm just taking it and transferring the transfer foil over it. Just press it down. You can also rub it in and then pull it away, and we've got this kind of nice, delicate, messy look. Grab another one. And the last one. Brilliant. Okay, I'm happy with how the transfer foil turned out. We can move on into the next part, which is acrylic paints. And I want to go with the magenta. So just squeeze out a scoop of this color. Some white. Some green. Oh, so pink and a green. I like to mix magenta with the pink. It just gives a nice, nice results. Okay, we are gonna grab our watercolor, our one stroke brush level 1, just because they are kind of very simple flowers we are gonna paint, and then start painting. So I'm picking up white and green. I also got some water. It's pink because it's just from picking up magenta color, and then mix my mixture for the leaves. Tiny bit more green. Okay, I'm happy with it. So we are gonna start painting some simple leaves. And I'm just applying, painting it over the transfer foil. And then other side, so just a wee tiny leaf. Nice gentle touches. Then we can also add some leaf on the top. Okay, straight away I'm gonna do a couple leaves in here as well. One in there and one in there. Clean my brush, and then we are gonna start painting the flowers. So I'm really cleaning the brush well. And we are gonna go for magenta and white color. Mix it a little bit and then introduce some pink as well. Okay, this is a fantastic color. And I can start painting the first flower. It's gonna be actually a really simple one. So you can see it, we can paint over the foil, and I'm just dragging product to the top and then coming down. We've got one petal, then another one, and another one on the side. Pick up more paints. And again, you want your paint to feel like creamy consistency. If you're feeling it's too dry, just introduce a little bit of water, like a tiny bit, and then remove the excess of it, because if you've got too much, it's not good. So quite often, if I dip it in a water, I would just reload my brush. And then we are gonna add another row of the petals. So in between that, I'm just painting another row of the petals. They have to be much smaller because they are inside. Massage your paint really well. Here is another one. We can also add a tiny one and here as well, because there is an empty space. When you're doing a one-stroke painting, you have to make sure like you do not like flick your brush, I would say, because that can destroy the look of the petals. Like they usually don't look as nice. Now we can also add something on the side. That always looks more interesting when it comes to painting the flowers, and I'm pretty happy with it. So to don't make my brush too dry, I have dipped it in the water and I just keep it on the side with the water. Now I'm gonna train my D-liner brush. It was previously used in gel, so I took a drop of the UV cleanser to remove any residue from the gel, and then introducing water so I can start painting a fine detail. That is great, lots of water in it, and then just adding some small detail here, like a really small kind of accents. And one stroke always looks amazing once we put the top coat over it. Absolutely fantastic. So I really like the inside of this flower. I have just bring it a little bit more magenta, so it's a slightest touch darker here and there, doing a small little dots. And now I want some green and white together, so we can do inside of the flowers. Just shake it, touch it, and then drag it so you've got a nice and fine line. You can really delicate inside. And when you're working with your paints and they are so thin in consistency, like lots of water in it, they tend to dry out faster. So my design is already ready for a top coat. And I can make it pop out. High Shine No Wipe Top Gel. And you can see it. That's once we put the top coat, the flower almost like looks much prettier, sharper, cleaner, and all sort of good things. And what I love about it, you can actually see some gold coming through underneath as well. Like that looks really interesting. Let's cure it. And then grab another tip so we can paint slightly different shape of the flower. We could actually do even two in here. So I'm just picking up my color mixtures. I always like lots of space when I'm mixing it, and I did pick up a drop of the water as well. Like mix the paint really well. Okay, that's me ready. And I want to start painting another flower. So this time I will do it like on half a flower here. Maybe even different shape of the petals. So look what I'm doing. I'm trying to create a one petal out of three petals. So one, then go higher to the top, and then come down. So we've got like a triple kind of petal looking there. Pick up my mixture again. We can do a tiny one on the side, and here we can do another one which is made out of three petals. So low, then come up higher, come down, and then lower. Pick up the paint again. And then we are gonna do the same petal, like closing everything. So ideally you want your white to touch the white, and then it comes higher up, comes down, and then the next one is going to the side. So this way we've got like kind of open flower, really nice. I have bring it in almost no water, but a little bit of water, and I'm just picking up the paint from the same mixture I had it in here, just so it's a little bit more wet. And then we are gonna paint similar flower in here. So let's make this one maybe opposite way. Yes, why not? So we are gonna paint this petal, and I will make it larger as well. Make it larger. Leave the gap, come up to the top. My paint is drying, so pick up the water, create my mixture. And I'm just gonna go over this flower again, the petal. What else I have noticed it is like on the places where we do have the gold foil, the color is slightly different. That looks actually amazing. Yes, I'm happy with this one, and then we will do one on top of it to close it. So I want this color to be also slightly different. I'm introducing more pink rather than magenta. Mix it well, and then we are gonna close that. So again, I'm coming up, come to the top, make it even bigger, smaller one, and then just twist it to close it. That looks absolutely pretty. Clean the brush, bring the water over it. White again, nice and thin. And I'm just gonna highlight some places. So I want to highlight this place here. It's really interesting. We can also highlight this place there. And here. And then on the other one, just gonna highlight this twist here because they are almost like joining in. So those petals are joining, and this petal is joining as well. Fantastic. I don't want to highlight anything else, I don't think so, but we can do some nice inside of the flower. I'm picking up a water and magenta color, and then just doing a couple of those darker dots. Very nice and watery. I'm kind of almost coloring it in, but I'm lifting my brush just so it's not like a solid color. We can also add some white into the leaves. That's too much of the product, like far too much. My brush is so old that it has also a bended tip, and I'm painting with this bended tip for so long. So what I'm usually trying to do is try to hit the bend, just so it helps me painting rather than disturbing. And then let's do some green and white. Lots of tiny wee dots. Water in. I just love painting one-stroke flowers. Like you cannot go wrong with them. Like they always look unbelievably amazing. Now just the white in, just so the dot stands out a little bit more. And the broken tip is actually from doing those dots. So I'm trying to use the opposite side of the brush to straighten actually this broken tip. Anyway, this one is done as well, so we can top coat it. Such as pretty designs. High shine, no wipe. And look, you can see it, how much it did pop out again. I really love this gold addition to it. Normally I would do it like a very fine detail with the gold, but I never thought about painting one stroke over gold. And it actually looks fantastic. This one is ready, absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to put it on the side and paint quickly something in here. Let's do maybe one large flower for a change. So pick up my colors, mix it well. Oh, and my clients just love me painting one stroke, like they do really love this technique. Okay, I've got my paint mixed. And I'm just gonna paint like a really large one. Maybe even without of any petals inside. So just the one large row of the petals. What is great about one stroke as well, if you wanted it to have like a higher coverage, what you can do it is you can, once the paint's dry, you can go over it a second time, and that's what I'm going to do it in this case, because we are not covering the petals with smaller ones inside. So I just clean my brush and then pick up another row of the paint, mix it. And usually I go a little bit more watery if I'm going over the paint a second time. Checking if it's dry. Yes, it is dry. And that's why I love also painting with the acrylic paints, is you don't have to cure it, the design. I do really like that for this reason. And when we're going over the design a second time, things become even prettier. You cannot touch it one stroke if it's still wet. So if the paint is still wet, you will just make a really big mess out of it. So you definitely cannot do that. Okay, and then we are gonna do different middle. I actually really like this gold in there. So I'm not gonna hide it. I really not gonna hide it. I will just place round dots in there. Lots of them. And then I can also do some very fine lines inside the petals. Lots of water in. Also, just so you've got a different type of middles of the flowers. White on the leaves. Again, I'm not too fancy, just kind of trying to add some line in there. And then we are gonna outline some parts of the flower. Kind of to highlight that the petal is made out of few different petals. So I've got very watery brush. This petal is kind of over it. You can probably even hardly see those lines, but they are there. And they make a huge difference. Okay, happy with that. So just grab the top coat and then I can show you this third one. Because once we put the top coat, things will look even prettier again. The flower will pops out, like it does really pops out and smooths out, especially that we are painting on not even surface. We had some transfer foil underneath, which was applied quite messy. So without of top coat, things looks messy, but once we put the top coat, it becomes nice and clean. Just gonna get rid of this dust. There we are. Just a quick summary. So we have used acrylic paints, we have used one stroke level, one brush and a D-liner to create those one stroke flowers, and they all are available on our website. I also hope you have guys really enjoyed this technique, and as you say, as I keep saying it all the time, this is my favorite one. Now I cannot touch this tip because it's not fully cooked yet. Oh gosh, they look really pretty. Actually, even prettier than I could imagine, because it's the first time ever I'm trying one stroke over the gold transfer foil. So I will try to show you in a few different angles, like where you can see the actual flowers, where you can see transfer foil, because the light is quite disturbing, like we've got lots of lighting in here, so sometimes it can disturb when the top coat is over. Oh, that's a nice view, because the ring light doesn't hit as strongly in. Yeah, but anyway, I hope you have really enjoyed this video. Sending you huge glittery hugs, and bye for now.